Welcome to another episode of Too Much Podtar. As now it's March 26th, and we will be starting a new series here up with. This would be the first episode in the series of this day in baseball history. So we're going to go over a little bit of what happened, big things that happened on every day in history. Hopefully, I think we'll plan on doing one for each day until we get baseball back, since to give us something to talk about. So yeah, let's start with today, March 26th. So yeah, I guess we'll start from the. Also, I have I forgot to mention, they have Nick Jaime from the Squirrel returning for another episode. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Always happy to be here with you.
Yep, it's definitely good to get something more of these episodes out.
100%.
Nothing else to do besides play. So,
let's just go back in time in sports, since we can't do anything in the current.
Because even the MLB is doing, like, they're replaying a bunch of games tomorrow, like on MLB Network and stuff. So they're still gonna have like kind of an opening day, but like older game.
So that was an interesting attempt at trying to keep fans with this whole opening day, because I know every baseball fan's upset right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely at least something to look forward to watch. I'll probably still watch baseball all day, just watching all the old games. That would be exciting, I think. And hopefully we get season by. I'm hoping we get the season by the end of May at the latest.
Just whenever it comes back, just give me baseball as soon as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess just jump into talking about this day in history. I guess we'll start from last year and then go backwards. Or I guess we'll just go backwards in time. So, yeah, the one thing that happened last year on this day was Jacob deGrom and Kyle Hendricks both got extensions from the Mets and Cubs, respectively. deGrom got $137.5 million for 5 years, and Hendricks got a 4-year extension for an extra $55.5 million added to his contract. Yeah, so that was some good extension there. deGrom obviously ended up winning his second straight Cy Young last year. So that was definitely a good start to that extension. The Mets are smart to pay him. He's obviously their ace, but the one thing that sucks about it is, he doesn't get run support. He never gets any runs. I know you're a Mets fan, so you can.
It's love the extension. Obviously, he's now multiple years Cy Youngs. Like, that run support though, it's the most unexplainable thing. It's one of those just coincidentally they don't. Him pitching has nothing to do with the Mets hitting, yet it's every time he goes out there, every single time, they just cannot score. I don't know what it is. This is. I'm not ready for baseball to come back, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, especially with Syndergaard now. It sucks. Getting Tommy John now.
That I wasn't expecting that.
No.
It opens up. We had 6 men for the rotation, so we're not going to be having a little battle going on there now.
Right.
But hopefully once baseball does come back, the Mets kind of switch over on that trend with deGrom. Hopefully we'll give him a little run support.
Yeah, as a Yankees fan, I'm hoping that I don't hate the Mets like some Yankees fans do, but I hope for them to have success. I think if the rest of the rotation could stay healthy and they actually do score some runs, I think they'll have a chance to compete in the NL East.
That seems to be what it is now for a few years. If they could stay healthy, but that's sadly with the Mets, that's a very big if.
Right. Yeah. So then next thing for this day in history was the next biggest thing. I'm not gonna go over each individual like every year what happened, but the next one thing that stood out was back in 2000, the Kingdome was demolished after 22 years. The Mariners played there. They had
I always love that name.
Yeah, it's a good name. I wish they kept it. Like when they had a new stadium, I wish it just kept it.
I was always a big fan of that name.
Yeah. So they had opening day was April 6, 1977, and they had 57,000 fans in attendance. And then some memorable moments. They had the 1979 All-Star game there, and Ken Griffey Jr. hit 50 home runs in 97, 98. Randy Johnson won the Cy Young in 95, and Edgar Martinez won 2 batting titles in 92 and 95. So they definitely had some good moments in that stadium, and obviously 95 was also the year that they beat the Yankees, and that big walk-off moment. Probably one of the best announcing calls in history. If I might actually just pull it up here. But yeah, they definitely had a lot of good moments in that stadium. And then must have been sad to see it go there in 2000. I was only 2 years old, so I don't remember it all. But
yeah, I was 5. I don't not a big memory for me there.
No.
I think isn't CenturyLink built on where the Kingdome was?
That sounds like it's true. I feel like I've heard that. Actually, yeah, I have it right here. It says, CenturyLink Field is located on the site where.
Because I remember that came like right afterwards.
Yeah, it was like. Let me see.
It was like 2-3 years.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Maybe 4? No, that sounds like too much. I think it was 02 or 03.
Yeah, that sounds right.
CenturyLink.
Yeah, 2002 was when it opened.
02.
Yeah. So I got the video now pulled up.
They would love a base hit into the gap, and they could win it with Junior speed to stretch. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on and lined down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh my. Edgar Martinez with a double. Ripped down the left field line, and they are going crazy at the Kingdome.
Dave Newhouse is one of the best ever.
Fucking iconic.
Yeah.
It's one of the iconic ones.
Yeah. Even as a Yankees fan, I gotta love it.
Just imagine watching that. Just like, no, we lost. Ooh.
Yeah, that call kind of turned me on a little bit.
I'll accept it.
Yeah, that was about Kingdome. The next biggest thing was 97. Marlins traded for Cliff Floyd for Dustin Manson and Joe Orsulak, if I said that right. So that was like right when that was to the Expos. So that was like right before Vladimir Guerrero came up. So that was like the Expos were making room for him to come up and do what he did. So
loved Cliff Floyd. That was he ended up coming over to the Mets.
Yeah.
So that was one of those players when I was younger. I remember watching more than anything. 110 home runs over 6 years. 1, 2, 3, 4. He played. Oh, he's 5 seasons with them. I think it was 4.
Yeah, 5 seasons. 97 to 2001.
Yep.
And then he went to the where did he go?
Montreal.
He went back to Montreal.
Yeah, he went back.
Then he went back to Montreal, then went to Boston for 1 season, and then the Mets for 4.
Oh yeah, what's it called? Montreal, Boston. I think we're same season. That was one weird year.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
He was Florida, Montreal, Boston.
Yeah.
Then he went back to a nice long stint with the Mets.
Yeah, and then he retired in 2009 with the Padres when he was 36. Only played in 10 games that year though. So
yeah, after the Mets, it was kind of like thrown around. Like he went Chicago, Rays, Padres. It was just kind of like you could see it was coming to the end.
Yeah, and now he's on MLB Network. So
that's right. Yeah,
I enjoy listening. He's one of my favorites on there. I don't really like Harold Reynolds, but him I do like.
What's it called? His time in Florida, actually, that was probably his best. I know it was early on in his career. His time in Montreal was decent, nothing really special, but that time in Florida easily was his best of his career.
Oh yeah, and
aside from obviously he played the most seasons there, his average home runs, his batting average, it was the highest over any of them, aside from his short time in Boston, I think, is the only time he had a better batting average, but he was there for half a season. So
he hit 316 in, let's see how many games, in 10, it was 47 games. So
yeah,
and then he hit 294 in 6 years with the Marlins. So
yeah, that was easily the best there.
Yeah, so and as you said, 110 home runs. So yeah,
110 home runs, 409 RBIs.
Yeah,
that's with two of those seasons with Florida. Even he only played like 65 games.
Yeah, that was probably a good trade for both teams. That's maybe not.
Yeah,
because it worked out because like obviously Vladimir Guerrero was coming up, and then for the Expos, and then Floyd did good with the Marlins, so it was pretty even, I think. And then moving on to the year before that, 96, was when San Francisco voters voted in favor for a privately funded park to replace Candlestick. That's another really historic park in Candlestick that ended up having being replaced. So.
That's honestly one of my favorite things in baseball history. Mm-hmm. Like the ballparks.
Yeah.
Ballparks. Candlestick, another one. Just Kingdome, Candlestick. Wow. This is actually surprising. All like, obviously there's, what's it called? That's only like 5 years apart, but still.
Yeah.
Like multiple things on this day with some really iconic ballparks.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, so they played there since 1960, and then they finally moved into their new stadium in 2000, which was Pacific Bell Park. And that was the same spot, the same field that the 49ers played in from 71 to 2013 until they moved to Levi's Stadium in 2014. And let's see. Yeah, actually they still had events that are going on at Candlestick. Until 2014, which is Paul McCartney concert in August 2014.
I was going to say, didn't the 49ers play there?
Yeah.
through that time until like I don't know if it was all the way to 2014, but they played there for a majority of that time, even after they stopped using it for baseball.
Yeah, and then I'm looking here. They finally did demolish it in 2015.
Yeah,
so
they did.
So I think it was 2 years after the 49ers moved out of there.
Yeah,
and now it's, as of last year, they're planning on redeveloping it into an office space.
Oh my god!
Wow, an iconic
That's
stadium.
more of a like West Coast thing of the baseball field, football fields.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we see a lot more like these like California teams and more than a lot of others.
Right. And then the next thing was 12 years prior to that, in 1984. Jackie Robinson was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom posthumously by the president, Ronald Reagan. So that was, and then Jackie Robinson's wife accepted the award on his behalf. That was definitely an interesting one there. And obviously, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier and all that, and had a great career. So definitely a really big moment there to get that award. Which sadly, it's obviously sad he wasn't able to get it before he died. But
it's actually a lot of baseball players with the Medal of Freedom. I did not know about this.
Really?
Yeah, I knew about the Jackie Robinson one.
Yeah.
So he was the third baseball player after Mo Berg and Joe DiMaggio.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I did know about Joe DiMaggio too.
And then a lot since then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so it was Ted. After that, it was Ted Williams and Hank Aaron, Roberto Clemente, Frank Robinson, Buck O'Neil of the Negro Leagues, Stan Musial, Ernie Banks, Yogi Berra, Willie Mays, then Vin Scully, Babe Ruth, and then Mariano Rivera, which he got hit that one last year.
Yep.
And Babe Ruth got it in 2018. So. Yes, let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, there's 15 people that got it in baseball. And the next thing before that was 1974, another big moment. Orlando Cepeda, or is it Cepeda? I forget how they say that. And then Luis Aparicio. They're both in the Hall of Fame now. They were released by the Red Sox, and I think Aparicio ended up just retiring, but then Cepeda went to some other team. I forget who though.
He went over to the Royals, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. And that he only played 33 games there that next year.
Okay.
So pretty much that ended pretty much both of their careers there.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
obviously two though amazing careers.
Yeah. So yeah, Cepeda ended up being inducted in '99, and however you say his name, I keep like butchering his name. Aparicio. I think he was inducted in 84. So he had 506 stolen bases in his career, 83 home runs.
Both won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year, 9 Gold Gloves, 13-time All-Star.
Yeah,
So,
they both won it 2 years apart.
oh, yeah. Then the year before that was 1973. George Sisler died. He was nicknamed Gorgeous George. He was a first baseman, also a player manager. He played for the St. Louis Browns, Washington Senators, and Boston Braves. And he also managed the Browns from 1924 to 26. And he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1939. 340 career batting average, which is just the 16th highest in history.
That's crazy.
Yeah. AL MVP in 1922.
We need to bring back the player coach.
He had 102 career home runs. He played first base, and then 1,178 RBIs in his career. So definitely a really solid career. 2,812 hits. His managerial record wasn't that great. He was 218, 241 as a manager. So. But obviously, he went into the Hall of Fame as a player, so that doesn't really matter.
He's a hell of a fucking player.
And he was 80 years old when he died in 1973.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's a little bit. Here's kind of a weird one for the next one. For in 1947, Jackie Price of the Indians, he let two 5-foot-long snakes loose on the team train when they were going to LA for a series. Then he got kicked off the train by the manager.
This is one I haven't heard of before.
I looked at it, I was like, wow, that's interesting.
That's definitely one I haven't heard. That's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, that's some of the things you'll find when you look back farther. Like farther look back, you're probably gonna find weirder things like that.
That's I'm definitely interested with this whole series to see some of these like older ones like that. Stuff that honestly that I really never heard of type of things, but it's just that's cool to hear.
Yeah, it says I'm reading this article about it, and it says that if Indians fans remember Jackie Price at all, it's for the stunt that got him thrown off the team in 1947. So he wasn't really known for anything else besides that. He was actually signed when he was 19, and he never really amounted to anything as a player. But
always be remembered though. The guy that let snakes onto the train.
Snakes on a train.
Snakes on a train. Now we know where they spoofed the movie from. There we go.
Oh yeah, that's probably what it is.
They took it right from that. But instead of a train, let's use a plane.
Oh wow! I just got to the end of this article. He hung himself in 1967.
Well, that took a little bit of a turn.
Yeah, that escalated quickly. Yeah, he ended up working as a bartender in San Francisco after he got kicked off the team. Yeah, that's an interesting story. Jeez. The last biggest story for this day, March 26th, was in 1936. Hank Greenberg signed with the Tigers, and Red Ruffing signed with the Yankees, and they both obviously ended up having good careers.
Yeah, Greenberg. what's it called? Greenberg after didn't the Tigers win a few years after that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Why do I feel like they won a few in a row?
Let me see. Yeah, he was there. He played for the Tigers from 1933 to. Wait, no. What am I looking at? Oh yeah, 1933 to 1947 or 1946. Well, actually, 1942 to 1944. He was in the army.
Yeah, he didn't play for those few years.
Yeah, but he was. Let's see. 313 batting average. 331 home runs. 1274 RBIs. 58 stolen.
Those 4 years right after signing were just one solid year after the other. All-star team after all-star team. Yeah. One MVP in 40 right before the year right before. No, that'd be 2 years before he had to go off to service. Actually, yeah. Third in MVP voting 2 of those other years.
Yeah, so he won 2 with the Tigers. He
won one earlier on too.
1935 and 1945 they won series. Yeah, Red Ruffing. His real name was Charles Herbert Ruffing. He played for the Red Sox, Yankees, and White Sox between 1924 to 1947.
Yeah, most of it was with the Yankees. Another one out on military service for a few years.
Yeah, he played 15 years at the Yankees. So those were definitely his best years too, because he had.
Oh yeah, just on average too, not even just from like bulk number on average. That was easily his best time there.
Yeah, his worst year he had a 4.41 ERA. And then the rest was like 3. It was like less than 4 every other year. So his lowest was 1.77 in 1946, which is last year with the Yankees when he was 41. Wow.
1.77 ERA.
When he's 41 years old. That's crazy. And it was
41 years old. Damn. All right, let's do it. Bring Bartolo in. He's ready for this. Let's go.
How old is he now? Is he like 43?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
He's an old man at this point.
Yeah.
46.
Oh man, I didn't think he was that old.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I was thinking he was more around 42, 43. Never mind.
Damn, this is something we're never gonna get again either. He had 335 complete games in his career.
Oh yeah, we're never. That's an old school. Like we're never getting those type of numbers again.
No way.
We're never getting those type of numbers.
Yeah, a pitcher's lucky to get like maybe 4 in a season or something. 3,
and even 3 is pushing it.
Yeah,
you're getting a complete game if you're throwing like close to a no-hitter. No. Like it's very rare. I feel like that you see complete games, other than if there's some type of like milestone thing like that going on, or if for some reason you really just are getting out of innings that quickly.
Oh yeah.
And even then, we see coaches take out players.
Yeah.
Like just because of innings, not even pitches. Sometimes like 8th inning, 7th inning.
Right. Yeah, and if a pitcher had 3 complete games and he played 22 years, so if somebody had that many, if they had 3 in 22 years, it'd be 66. Not even close to his 335.
335.
That's like
the most he had in a year was 25.
Wow. That's literally 15. That's an average of 15 per year.
That's insane.
Yeah, never gonna happen.
No. .
I wonder. I don't even. Why was he called Red? I don't remember what the reason was.
It,
Oh, I just looked it up. It was because of his hair color. He had red hair.
oh, okay.
I couldn't tell it. You couldn't tell that from the pictures because it's obviously black and white.
So black and white from that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all the pretty much main events for this day, March 26th. So keep listening every day. We're gonna have pretty much every day an episode where we talk about stuff that happened in history. So keep an eye out for tomorrow's episode, and keep looking out for more content on this podcast, on the Scorecrow, and even having the quarantine is not going to stop us from getting some content out. Keep everybody busy. So, and hopefully baseball comes back soon. So yeah, and just a reminder, you can never have too much Pod Tour.